Shalom from Jerusalem, I'm Shani Ferguson. Now, if you're exposed to news that is coming out of the Middle East, you may have noticed that Israel has a fascinating frenemy type relationship with Iran. Iran, which was Persia before it was renamed, has a history with Israel famously recorded in the book of Esther, and of course with Cyrus, who was instrumental in helping the Jews rebuild the Second Temple. That friendship with the Jewish people actually continued well into the 20th century, and there's actually some interesting personal stories of Israelis that moved there, did business kind of like Israelis are doing in Dubai now. And then when the Shah fell in the 1979 Islamic Revolution, the face of what was Iran completely changed, where it was this kind of free society where people came from all over the world and studied in universities. Everything changed. Jews and Israelis fled for their lives. And ever since then, there has been severe animosity between Israel and Iran. Iran has gone for decades and spoken about its destiny of wiping Israel off the map. And of course, at the same time, completely and very viciously oppressing its own people, shutting down freedom of speech, not allowing women to show their hair on penalty of death and imprisonment, public hangings for gay people, and a very strange anomaly in which people are allowed and encouraged to transition if they do have gay tendencies. In the decades since 1979, there have been uprisings, there have been mass protests that eventually have all been shut down, mostly by imprisoning or killing the protesters that spoke up. And so there has been hesitation from the international community to step in and take a stand against another sovereign country. Enter Trump, who just doesn't like to see people dying on the street, and therefore has said essentially, stop killing or we're stepping in. Now, as we speak, there are planes and ships moving in the direction of Iran. There's obviously some that have landed in Israel. And here is the fascinating question. What happened to all these protesters that 5 minutes ago were all over the street, free, free Palestine, and it was all about the Palestinian people, and aimed all their venom at Israel and not Hamas? Well, Iran, the government of Iran, is the same entity that is Hamas, that is Hezbollah. Essentially, because the government of Iran is considered the largest state sponsor of terrorism around the world, which means they're funding Hamas and they're funding Hezbollah and they're funding the Houthis, and their end goal is the destruction of the Jewish people and Israel as a country and Jews as an existing DNA entity. And so helping the Iranian people get rid of the very source of all this awesome terroristic activity is not in the interest of these funders of protests. In one sense, from the outside, it can look like an anomaly, but historically, again, the Iranian people who are Persians and the Jewish people have a really great historic friendship. And so in Israel, every time there is momentum gained and a protest against the Iranian regime, Israelis are cheering on the Iranian people, looking forward to the day when we can again visit each other, spend time together, and enjoy the beautiful Persian culture, which has been all but obliterated in this Islamic conquering of Iran. As a side note, this Islamic domination over an ancient culture is not unique to Iran. It is something they do in every single country that they conquer. Take note Europe, take note America. Until next time, in hopes that Iran will join us in the world of freedom. I'm Shani Ferguson. Shalom from Jerusalem.